Why it took me 18 months to leave my ex-husband after I caught him having an affair with my best friend. The first 3 months after the affair, I was in just such shock from the trauma that I actually stayed friends with her too, because I had told myself, oh, if I could forgive my husband, I can totally forgive my best friend. Mind you, I was going to therapy while all of this happened. I was going to couples therapy. My therapist knew exactly what I had been through, but I had never told any of my friends until I finally decided to not be friends with this woman anymore. Or actually, I told one of my friends and she was like, "You're still friends with her? What?" 3 months after the affair, I cut this woman out of my life, and I was always like, how was I even friends with her in the first place? Like, I realized how much time I had without her, how much less stressful my life was without her. Like, she just was not a good person in my life, whether or not she had an affair with my husband. 4 months post-affair, 1 month post not being friends with this woman anymore, my ex-husband went on a hunting trip, and that was when I realized my life was actually a lot easier without him, and I started to wrap my head around the idea of being a single mom. However, I knew that there were a lot of things at play. I didn't have a place to stay. I didn't have my own source of income, and we had some credit card debt that I was just not wanting to have to deal with and be splitting up with him all at the same time. I'd actually never had credit card debt in my life until I was married to him, and so that was really stressful for me. But I digress. So then about the time I finally was like kind of ready to start thinking about leaving him, COVID hit and he had an essential job, and I was just not ready to make any changes in March or April of 2020, when I just literally did not even know at one point if I was gonna be able to like get food at the grocery store or put gas in my car. However, that didn't last long, because by June of 2020, I was ready to start making some changes. So I started looking for a job, and then interest rates were so low. So I actually did both of us a favor. I refinanced our house and I paid off all of our credit card debt while we were still married. He had no idea what was going on, and I canceled all of our credit cards. And I'm so glad that I did that for both of us. My ex-husband drug the divorce out for 2.5 years, and I cannot even imagine having things that I either didn't want to pay for or didn't know who was paying for what. So that was definitely something that needed to happen before I could make my split. So then I finally left him in November of 2020 after I had my own job and we had nothing tying us together but our children.